fascinates you? What are you passionate about? Hi, I'm Brooke, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of my passions, lemurs. Lemurs are primates that live on the island of Madagascar. If you're not familiar with Madagascar, it's an island right here off the coast of mainland Africa, just east of Mozambique. Now, lemurs are only found on Madagascar. They're not found anywhere else. Scientists debate whether or not the ancestors of lemurs arrived from Africa or India, but regardless of where this animal came from, there is growing agreement that it arrived on Madagascar by 80 million years ago. That's before the dinosaurs went extinct. But this means that lemurs have had a very long time to diversify and adapt to the harsh and extreme climates of Madagascar. Now, you may have heard of lemurs. In particular, recent movies, such as Madagascar and its sequels, have familiarized many with these interesting primates. You might be, for example, familiar with the ring-tailed lemur, which is known as maki in Malagasy. Here's an image of the ring-tailed lemur. As you can see, it has a very, very distinctive black and white striped tail. Now, these images are coming from a book which is called Mammals of Madagascar by Nick Garbett, and I'm going to use it a few times as I talk to you today to show you some pictures of lemurs. So did you know that ring-tailed lemur is just one of 100 identified lemur species? Lemurs are an incredibly diverse group of primates. They range in size from the mouse lemur, which is known as seedy in Malagasy, and that can fit inside the palm of my hand, to the indri, which is around 13 pounds, or the size of a house cat. Lemurs can be nocturnal or diurnal, and some have a very interesting activity pattern where they're awake during both the day and the night. This is called cathemeral and is actually quite rare among mammals, particularly among primates. So most lemurs eat both leaves and fruits, but some have much more specialized diets. For example, there's an entire group of lemurs called bamboo lemurs because they eat bamboo. Now, the most interesting looking of lemurs is called the aye-aye. The aye-aye is quite scary to some, but is actually quite a gentle creature. You can see a picture of him here. Now, the aye-aye have a very special elongated digits in their fingers, and this helps them to pull grubs out of tree trunks and dead tree branches, and it also helps them actually scoop out the inside of eggs. Now, all lemurs spend some time in the trees, but some actually also spend a fair amount of time on the ground. For example, the ring-tailed lemur is well known for doing this. Another species of lemur that does this frequently is called the she-fox. Now, the she-fox are well known for their ability to bound from tree trunk to tree trunk. Often they can span over 30 feet in one single leap. Now, they're able to do this because they have very, very powerful and strong, long back legs. But what happens is if they come down on the ground, it's quite difficult for them to move on all four limbs. Instead, they adopt a very bouncing gait where they hop along on their hind limbs, which is quite comical and has been likened to the movement of a dancer. Here we have a picture of a she-fox bounding along on the ground. So what's amazing, really, is that despite all this amazing diversity today, quite recently there are at least 17 additional species of lemurs that are thought to have been on Madagascar, possibly just 500 years ago. We know these animals existed because their bones have been excavated from caves and swamps all over Madagascar. Now, all of these lemurs were larger than the living lemur species. Some of them were quite large, much bigger than myself. The largest known extinct lemur was called Archaeoindri, and it weighed about 400 pounds. Now, that's the size of a male gorilla. That's a very large lemur. But what happened to these extinct lemurs? Why are they no longer around today? Well, it seems like humans may have actually hunted some of these animals, and that may have led to their extinction. However, forest loss is also thought to have been a very important variable. All lemurs, both living and extinct, depend on forest for their survival. Now, continued forest loss in Madagascar means that living lemurs are also quite threatened, and the majority of living lemur species are either endangered or threatened. However, there is hope for Madagascar's lemurs. More forest is being protected every year. Biologists continue to learn more about lemur ecological requirements, and Malagasy scientists are becoming more and more involved in lemur research. As a result, the local people of Madagascar are becoming increasingly proud of their nice, special primates. So, in summary, lemurs are a unique and special and diverse, but very threatened group of primates. Now, as I have studied these lemurs over time and through my research, I have grown to love them. Now you know a little bit more about them as well.